Hello, YouTube. I'm Andy,
I'm Apples.
and I think it's time for serious talk.
It's time for a serious talk right now. So what this is we're just literally gonna play crappy games. That
Crappy game.
we're really gonna just play some crappy games just to put content behind these. And the thing of this is we're gonna talk about serious matters about a lot of people's lives basically. We're two high schoolers, so we can relate to a lot of the kids that watch this stuff. And yeah, so this time it's gonna be about, it's on the first topic, school. School, girls, video games, and where's the balance between them?
Girls have booties.
Girls don't, oh god. Um, so, Christ. Um, so,
Okay,
where do
go.
you find, what do you think, on you personally, I don't care how much you actually play, what do you think is an acceptable amount of time of playing per night?
Per night, maybe. Shoot.
You got a Tuesday night, so it's just a normal school night.
Okay, normal Wednesday night. Uh, 3-4 hours max.
3 hours on a school night of video games.
I think so. I mean, if you don't have much homework, you could stay. If you finish, if you
Okay, let's
start.
just say the average person has 2 hours of homework a night, right?
Okay, go with that.
4 hours is that's not excessive.
I don't think so.
Really?
I honestly don't. I mean, it maybe because like that's what I've always done. That's how I've always played.
That's how you
But
grew up.
mm-hmm, just because time has never really mattered. Uh, as long as I got my stuff done, my mom really didn't care. The Xbox was like my babysitter. It's true. I mean, it's,
Wow.
it kept me. Yeah.
It kept you occupied.
Hmm.
Yeah. See, I grew up with my mom. My mom would be like, before you play the PlayStation or the Nintendo, I want you.
Oh,
I want to have your. I want your homework done. I want to. If I ask to see it, you have to be able to give it to me,
yeah.
and you then you have to ask me, and then at that point you
Have to hope she says yes. Stop hitting it.
and then at that
Oh,
point
what's going on?
I have to ask her stop. Um and then that decides if I can play or not. So it's like it's not like, oh, my homework's done, I'm gonna play now.
Mm-hmm.
It was more like, is my homework done? I might play tonight.
It sucks.
But I mean, like,
Like,
I grew up and I'm not like, this isn't really what I do all day. Like, don't get me wrong, I probably hammer in a couple hours a night
yeah,
now.
we do a lot.
Um but before, when I was growing up, it wasn't like that big of a deal for me. It was like, oh, I can't play video games. Oh well, I'll just go do
Yeah.
this. Because I mean, I've always like played instruments or something. You know, like
Oh.
I've always passed the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that like 3 to 4 hours of video games on a Wednesday on just a normal school night. That's a lot to me.
I've done on a Saturday all day.
Oh, like
Sunday all night.
I've had those days too. Like I would used to be like, oh, I gotta go to my cousin. It's Saturday night. I'm gonna go to my cousin's house, spend the night, just pulling all nighter playing Guitar Hero.
Oh yeah, I mean, I used to beat a campaign probably twice
Oh yeah,
on a
no. See,
Saturday.
I never even had time to beat a campaign. The first campaign that I've ever beaten was a Spyro game.
Oh, I never beat the Spiral game. I always crash my PS2.
I've I literally I've only played through one of them. Don't hit those yet. Um, so like the first time I'm like awesome, and I
Yeah,
just felt so accomplished.
I miss Spiral so
Um, and like I'm thinking about going back and I don't going off topic here. Thinking about going back and getting a PS2.
and just to play some Spyro and Crash.
Just yeah,
Oh my God, I miss Crash
CTR
Bandicoot.
racing and stuff.
Crash Bandicoot was so great.
Um, but yeah, like okay, now phones too. About how many texts do you think a month?
Oh shoot, I have unlimited text,
I do
so
too.
however much I need. I mean, I text you.
No, not this way yet.
Uh, I don't think I want to use their real names. I text you. Uh, and
The
two
two
girls,
ladies.
the two ladies, and maybe Daniel, or Harry. That's pretty much it.
Right, about a month.
But a lot. If I text someone, it's gonna be all day long.
Really?
Hmm.
Yeah, me too. No, but like, cause I've literally had anywhere from 18,000 messages in 1 month
Hmm. To
t-
200.
to like 2,000
2,000 is your lowest?
in 1 month.
That's horrible. I've had 200 in a month.
That's awful. But see, I'm like the guy that always talks to people though,
That's true. But I
and
mean, like when I'm playing video games,
me being
if I,
like me being a hoochie, I'm more the man whore.
that's another topic for another week.
Yes. Uh, it's just what I do. I'll
Hmm.
just sit there and I will talk to girls for hours at a time, and I'll just sit there and text them.
Hmm.
Um,
You
now
just dropped the key? What happened? What did you do with it?
I came over here to get the chests.
Oh,
Um, now I've literally there's people that I'm talking to right now that I will wake up at 6:30 in the morning before school, and the first thing I will do is I will text them good morning,
oh, that's what I do. Yeah.
and then but I will continue to text them throughout the day,
Hmm.
and I'll just keep texting them all day until we go to bed at 1 o'clock.
Oh yeah.
Um,
The only time I think I won't text someone is if I'm working or at karate,
yeah,
or if I'm in a class where I actually have to do work.
yeah. Everyone has a couple of those classes.
Ooh,
Um,
we finished the last
so yeah, I'll go like in the
surprise
past.
meal.
What?
Since when did that come here?
I don't know, but I like it.
East.
Um,
Okay.
but the female that I'm talking to, codename Staryu.
We
Um,
need to think of code names for my deal. Okay.
yes. I've been talking to Staryu, and she checked her phone, and in the past 20 days, just between me and her, there have been 6,500 messages.
In the past how long?
20 days.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like, but she's the one that I will wake up and I will literally text good morning, and we will text all day until one of us goes to bed.
That's ridiculous.
And then there's people like you. I'll text a couple hundred times a month, maybe.
Because we actually talk
Yeah.
outside of text messaging.
Yeah. Um.
'Cause- oh god, that's a lot of explosives. Don't do anything.
It's just no. I just shot. And just go. All right.
Okay.
Hit whatever.
Okay. Anyway,
Um. Oh Christ.
where were you?
Um. Something talking. Oh, texting. Um. But the thing is, I normally when I do homework, I'll say like it's notes.
Hmm.
Um. I'll be like, all right, I have to finish this section of notes, and then I can reply to my messages.
Yeah.
So I have some sort of cap that I put on it myself. My parents don't. My parents get mad if I do like just. There was one time where I had 32,000 in 1 month. Not this way.
Yeah.
And they just got pissed. That was when I was
Hold on. Someone's
with.
calling me.
Okay.
Never mind. She changed her mind. Okay. Oh, cool. We have a
But
friend.
that was when I was with my old girlfriend last year.
Uh, we don't have a code name for her. Okay.
Um, and then at that point, my mom was like, "Hey, calm it." And then even her mom was like, "Hey, you got it's a lot of texting."
Yeah.
So we toned it down. Um, but I've always kind of put school first.
I mean, to me, I don't really. I'm in all CP classes, so I don't need to study for anything.
Yeah,
I mean, the most I'll need to study for is my civics final, because that's 200 questions, and I have to. This guy needs to spawn. Okay, anyway. But I've always gotten A's and B's. I mean, the lowest grade I've ever gotten was a D in 7th grade history, because I just didn't care. That year I didn't do any homework,
Yeah.
I didn't do any tests.
yeah. So like this year, I normally get. I mean, like I've always gotten decent grades, like A's and B's and stuff. But mostly, I'll come out with 3 or 4 B's and 2 A's. Right. Normally, the A's are gonna be in my swim,
Yeah.
and my just like an athletic class and an art class. Um, but but that's with like when my parents, oh, to be sword. That's when my parents were just like straight
What the
controlling me.
hell?
She's my
Because
parents
my
were.
K button's just tripping.
What's your K button do?
My K button got stuck.
Wow. Oh god, it did.
Should we go through to the arena?
Okay. But I would get like four B's and like two A's with my parents controlling me, saying, "No, you can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do this." All right. And then so I got a job over the summer. Crap. How do you type?
Enter.
Enter. Yeah. Um. And who's gonna spend the energy?
You have the energy. You do it.
Um. And so my parents were like, "You do this, you do that. No, you can't play tonight. No, you can't." And then this
Yeah.
year, they're like, "Okay, you got a job. You went out. You bought your own computer. You kind of do your own thing. I'm gonna start driving in a little bit." And so they're like giving me a little more freedom. And my GPA right now is a 4.3.
Really?
Yeah.
That's. Oh, wow. I'm kind of wood walking while recording. I'm gonna move out. What was I saying?
So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, you said the 4.3.
yeah.
Yeah,
Holy
that's.
crap.
Holy crap.
Like
That's
I
almost.
like there's a balance between, because I mean I would get frustrated and be like, oh, I just don't want to do, like, because like I would ask and like I would, because I've always enjoyed gaming. I would ask and I would just straight up get frustrated when they would say no, and
Yeah.
so I would just be frustrated. I just totally half-ass my homework. Um, but
Which would make things worse.
yeah, which would just kind of, it wouldn't really help anyone's case.
Yeah.
Um, and so this year, and I'm gaming a lot. I mean, a lot more than I normally do.
Yeah.
Um, and I've gotten the best grades that I've ever gotten.
Ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ever. A 4.3 is just ridiculous.
That's
Um,
insane.
yeah,
The
and
most I've ever gotten was a 4.0.
yeah, 4.0 is straight A's for the people who.
4.3 is straight A's with
4.3 is straight A's with like
honors
really
classes.
hard classes. Um,
Are you struggling? Do you need help?
and so my parents, they check my grades and they're like, "Oh, how good job," and I'm like, and they're like, "Yeah, I told you I was studying." Because I was kind of studying. Um, but it's more of the fact that they didn't push me to do all hard classes. I've always
Mhm.
struggled in history,
Yeah.
so I took CP history this year, which is just standard history,
Mhm.
and I just like that just frees up like 2 hours a night.
Oh, yeah.
So that gives me time to do other stuff too for other classes. Like before, I'd have to pay extra attention on history, and
Yeah.
I would still struggle to keep a B minus. Um,
Yeah.
but now I'm pulling a 97 in history
That's
and
awesome.
A's in everything else. And so there's a balance between it.
Hmm.
Um, and sometimes just because you don't play a lot of video games, it doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna have more time for school or you're gonna do better in school.
Yeah.
Because I straight up just did damage once I started playing a lot of video games.
Yeah.
Um,
I
it's
think
more
things
of
got
just
lined up.
it's more of trying to just where you're comfortable and what you're happy with.
Hmm.
Um, no, I'm not giving parental advice saying let your kids play video games 7 hours a night because they're happy.
Yeah.
There's still
Gotta
like
balance.
there's still a certain maturity level that has to be reached before you can say, hey, I gotta do this before I can do this.
Before I can start the homework.
Yeah. I'll come home and the first thing I do, what the hell's that? Oh, it's a mechanite. Get that mechanite.
Oh, use it, use it, use it. Oh, no, save it, save it, save it.
Um, and the first thing I'll do is I'll come home and I'll play on my computer for a little bit. Just get relaxed.
My mouse kind of died.
You stupid.
Shit. There we
Um,
go, it's working again.
and so the first thing I'll do is I'll just play on my computer for a little bit and just kind of just relax.
Hmm.
Um, and then when about like 3:30, I get home at 2, and about 3:30 I'll start my homework. Um, and I'm normally done with my homework probably by, if I start at 3, I'll be done at, holy crap, this is beautiful back here.
That's a lot of stuff. Oh
Um,
God, someone doesn't mind. Mute him.
I already did. Um, if I start at 3, I'll be done by 5 or 6, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I'll just do that. And
That's understandable.
yeah, and then I'll eat dinner, I'll shower, I'll sit down, watch some TV with the family. Um, and and that's what I'm comfortable with. That's what I like doing. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I do. And got a 4.3.
That's really good. I mean, with me, it's like, I have all the CP classes, so it's real easy. The hardest thing I'll do is probably English or Spanish, just because those classes are. I mean, Spanish is she gives us stupid little mini projects every week, which pisses me off, and it involves time.
Yeah.
Um, but English is after working because he's a hard grader. And
Ooh.
if I slack off, he'll. I'm not used to having a hard grading teacher, so I'm used to being able to slack. But what are we waiting for?
Um,
What graveyard? No, shut up. But surprise wheel.
just keep talking.
Um, I'm used to being able to slack, So this year it's getting a little bit hard. I've kept a 3.7 all through high school, um, and I know I'm gonna be able to get into college, but it's like I know I'm gonna have to change my study habits when I get to college, because classes aren't gonna be 10 words of vocab every night in college.
What college?
APU.
And for those of you that don't live in Southern California, it's Azusa Pacific University. It's actually a pretty good college.
It's a one of the top Christian colleges in the state.
Yeah, I
But
think so.
it's a hard to get into school. Like I think they're actually it's honestly pretty easy. Their their average SAT score was 900,
Oh God.
but their average GPA is 3.86. So
But 3.6 is 3 B's and 3 A's.
yeah, that's true. But I
That's
mean,
not that bad.
what the hell is that flying at us? One of those rockets shoots. It shoots a
What the?
spark. Anyway,
Oh.
anyway,
Okay.
um, um,